Hi, good day everyone. My name is Fareeq Danish. So I am the news anchor. So today, welcome to our special report on Senegal's logistic challenges. Today we dive into critical issue affecting businesses and also trade. The impact of new import or export regulations on logistic operations. In recent months, businesses in Senegal have been struggling with stricter trade regulations, leading to delays, increased costs, and supply chain disruptions. But what exactly is happening? How are key players in the logistics industry handling these challenges? To get a clearer picture, we've invited industry experts to discuss the situation. Let's start by speaking with our logistic manager, Arthur. So, Mr. Arthur, as a logistic manager, how have these new trade regulations affected the efficiency of moving goods in and out of Senegal?
Hello, good day, and thank you, Mr. Danish, for having me here. My name is ASHEN, and yes, I do agree that these regulations and tariff changes has really been a problem in our logistics companies based in Senegal because they have given us significant challenges, you could say, and the stricter procedures, increased tariffs, and additional documentation requirements have slowed down the movement of goods in ports and border crossings. They have caused delays there as well. Many businesses are now facing higher operational costs as they need to comply with these new regulatory measures.
Wow, that sounds like a tough situation. So, Mr. Arthur, what steps are companies taking to adapt to these new challenges?
The companies in Senegal, from what I could see, they are trying to overcome these issues with several steps. One of them are implementing digital tracking and automation to streamline compliance with these regulatory. This effort helps reduce all the unnecessary paperwork, and as a matter of fact, it also increases the efficiency by cutting out all the parts that aren't important and could be done in a different way. Secondly, these companies are also, how do you say it? They make good contact and form strong bonds with some regulatory authorities. So they form partnerships so that they can sort of know what to anticipate for the policy changes. So it's like they get some spoilers before before the government implements it, so that they know how to prepare it. They will be prepared to solve and face. And another thing that I have observed are that companies are trying to source from different places what they usually get from location A, let's say, but they have these tariffs happening, right? So instead of getting all the stuff from location A, they source those items from locations B and C. So in this way, they don't have to bear the cost of just sourcing from one place, and they can source it from many places. Also, they're also looking for alternate transportation routes, so they don't have to depend on one route, which may cause them to have to incur more tax and cost, right? So what I would say is they're looking at alternative routes so that they can get the most benefit, which is efficient actually. With that being said, I would think that the government and private sectors should actually work together to try to find a balance between the regulations and the effectiveness or you could say the productivity of the trade efficiency, because if you focus on one too much, then the other one would be out of balance. If you put so much emphasis on regulation, then the trade policy, the trade effectiveness would look less attractive to external countries, and other nations would try not to invest or use Senegal ports as an entry point or do business with them. But on the other hand, if you put too much emphasis on this one and reduce the regulations, then the economy of the country, Senegal, could be out of balance as well. So you have to find a really good equilibrium in this effort. Okay, I think I've answered your questions. Back to you, Mr. Danish.
Now, let's hear from Mr. Hisham, who represents suppliers, and what do suppliers need from logistic companies and the government to ease their issues.
Okay, thank you for the question. So my name is Mohammed Isham as a supplier in Senegal. So I have a 2 point to explain about the question. So what a supplier needs from the logistic company and also from the government. So based from the logistic company, so I think uh, based on the reliable and efficient transportation, supplier needs a logistic provider with a well-maintained truck, cargo, ship, and air freight service to ensure a timely delivery. So this given Senegal a road condition, logistic companies should invest in a durable vehicle and alternative transport option like a rail. And then advanced tracking and digital solution. So it needs a real-time GPS tracking. It will can automate inventory system and online shipment monitoring. Help a business can gain visibility into their supply chain, and then also reducing the risk of a delay and theft. So, uh, based on the warehousing and cold storage facility, maybe industry like agriculture and fishery needs require modern storage solution to preserve perishable goods. So logistic companies should expand a refrigerated storage option to have a supplier maintain product quality. And then based on the cost-effective shipping and fuel management, given a high transportation cost in Senegal, and supplier needs to logistic provider that offer bulk shipping, route optimization, and full efficient transportation to minimize the expenses. And then custom broker service, since custom clearance delay affect many business, logistic company should assist a supply with a documentation, compliance, and a faster processing at the ports and border. So last one, I think sustainable and eco-friendly transport option. Maybe as Senegal move toward a greener energy, supplier looks for logistic company that use a full efficient truck, electric vehicle, or eco-friendly packaging to align with the sustainable goals. So based on the government, I think based on the infrastructure development, the government should invest in a better roads, highway, and a railway network to improve transportation efficiency, especially in a rural area where the many agriculture supply operates. And then expand the modernization of port and airport. So the airport, for example, like the airport of Dhaka is a critical trade hub, but congestion in and efficiency slow down shipment. Maybe upgrading a port efficiency, expanding storage capacity, and digitizing custom process will enhance the supply chain movement. And then uh, simplify the custom and trade regulation. We can custom produce create a delay in import and exports. So the government should implement a faster clearance system, reduce unnecessary trade restriction, and improve the coordination among custom agency. So based from the full price regulation and subsidy, since high full price increase transportation costs, the government could provide a full subsidy or incentive for logistic company to adopt energy efficient solution, and then give a incentive for private investment in logistic. It will be encourage this private company to invest in logistic infrastructure such as warehouse and freight hub. It will improve the supply chain efficient, tax incentive or the public private partnership, which is a PPPs, and could have achieve this. And then improve a security measure to cargo transport. Theft and damage during a transportation remain concerns for a supplier. Strengthening security on key trade route and investing in anti-theft tracking system will, I think, help the protect shipment. And then I think the last one is support for sustainable transport and green logistics. Since the government should encourage the use of electric vehicle, renewable energy power warehouse, and eco-friendly logistic practicing by offering a financial incentive or grants. So, for conclude all the information, I think to ease a logistic issue in a Senegal, supplier needs a logistic company to provide a reliable transport, advanced tracking, storage solution, and cost effective shipping. At the same time, government support is essential to improving infrastructure, streamlining custom process and regulating full and cost. And combined effort from both sector will help, I think, strengthening to supply chain, reduce cost and enhance economic growth in Senegal.
So, as we all know, freight forwarders plays a crucial role in ensuring goods reach their destination. So, we have Miss Humaira here. Can you tell us how the new regulations have affected shipping and also transportation?
So thank you, Mr. Fareeq, for your question regarding the impact of new regulations on shipping and transportation in Senegal. So recent changes have led to strict custom clearance procedures, which can increasing the processing times at the port of Dakar and the border of the checkpoints. So the government of Senegal has introduced more rigorous documentation requirements and compliance inspections, which can causing the delays and higher the storage costs for businesses. And also, the new import restrictions and the tariff adjustment have raised the cost for essential goods, which can impact the supply chain efficiency. So strict environmental and safety regulations have also increased the operational expenses for logistic provider, especially for small and the medium size of transport operators. So for me as a freight forwarder, to overcome these challenges, we are working closely with custom authorities and trade organizations to streamline the compliance. So there are many businesses are adopting the digital custom clearance solutions, which to expedite the processing and reduce the paperwork. So we are highly recommend for the importer and exporters to stay informed about regulatory changes and collaborate with more experienced logistic partner to navigate the evolving requirement efficiently. So I hope I answer your question, Mr. Farid. Thank you.
Are there alternative strategies that freight forwarders are using to work around these barriers?
Farid, for your question regarding the alternative strategy, yes, we as a freight forwarder in Senegal are adopting several alternative strategies to navigate regulatory barriers and improve the shipping efficiency. So for our first alternative strategy, which is digital custom clearance and pre-arrival processing. So there are many freight forwarders are utilizing the electronic custom platforms and pre-arrival processing to reduce the delays. So by submitting the documents online before the shipment arrive, the clearance times at ports and border are significantly reduced. So Senegal's integration with the single window for foreign trade is helping to streamline the process. And then our second alternative strategy, which is trade agreements and free zones. So some companies are leveraging the ECOWAS trade agreements to reduce the tariff and simplify the cross-border movement within the West Africa. So by using the free trade zones such as the Dakar Integrated Special Economic Zone, can help the businesses bypass the certain import duties and custom the restrictions. So for our third alternative strategy, which is multimodal transportation and alternative routes. So to avoid the congestion at the port of Dakar, some forwarders are shifting to multimodal transportation, which is combining the road, rail, and air freight. So this strategy can reduce the dependency on a single mode of the transport and can help to avoid the delay caused by the port congestion or the regulatory bottlenecks. And our fourth strategy, which is warehousing and local distribution center. So some companies are investing in local warehouse and distribution hubs to store goods before they reach to their final destinations. So this can allow for better inventory management and can reduce the last minute custom and can ensure the faster delivery. And last but not least, for our alternative strategy as a freight forwarder, which is stronger partnership and compliance advisory services. So we are working closely with the custom brokers, legal experts, and trade organizations to stay ahead for the regulatory changes. So there are many firms now offer compliance advisory services to help clients navigate the new tariff, documentation rules, and safety regulations that more effectively. So by adopting this strategy, we as a freight forwarder can minimize the delays, can lower the cost, can improve the overall logistic efficiency despite the regulatory challenges in Senegal. So I think that's all answer for me.
Now, let's shift our focus to the final stage of supply chain. Mr. AQIL, as a retailer or custom officer, how have these regulations affected businesses and also consumers?
So hi, and very good day, and thank you, Mr. Danish, for having me here. So my name is Muhammad AQIL. So I will give my opinion or my answer for impact on businesses and impact on consumer as a retailer. So basically, as a retailer or custom officer in Senegal, businesses face significant challenges due to the complexity of custom regulation. So the lengthy custom clearance process filled with multiple forms and inspection. So causes delays and leads to higher costs for businesses. So these delays affect inventory management, as company might face stock shortage or excess inventory, impacting cash flows and profitability. So for many businesses, particularly small and medium-sized enterprises, the cost of compliance can be substantial. So companies often need to hire agents to handle the paperwork, adding another layer of cost. So additionally, the lack of transparency in the custom process makes it hard for businesses to predict import duties and taxes, leading to uncertain pricing and financial planning. So logistical challenges such as poor infrastructure and bottlenecks at ports further delay shipments, making it difficult for businesses to meet consumer and quickly efficiently. So moving on to impact on consumer. So consumer also feel the effects of these regulations in several ways. First, delays at customs and higher operational costs lead to increased prices on goods. So this makes it more expensive for consumers to access certain products. The long wait times for imports can result in limited product availability, especially for popular items or niche products. So consumer may have fewer options to choose from, particularly in specialized markets like electronics or fashion. So additionally, logistical delays and transportation inefficiencies can affect delivery time, causing frustration and poor shopping experience. So finally, quality control issues can arise if products are delayed too long in custom. For perishable goods, this means that consumers might not receive fresh products, while others may face items with shorter shelf life or damaged goods. Overall, these challenges may make shopping more expensive and inconvenient for consumers.
Mr. AQIL, what changes do you think that needs to be happen to make trade smoother for businesses in Senegal?
So for businesses, having clearer guidelines and better communication with custom authorities would help them anticipate any potential roadblocks in the shipping process. So additionally, implementing a more transparent tracking system for shipments would give businesses and consumer real-time updates on the status of their goods. So I will give my proposed solution for consumer. So for consumers, one of the most important improvements would be reducing the overall cost associated with with custom delays, which would in turn lower the price of imported goods. Also, providing consumer with more option by encouraging businesses to bringing in a wider range of product could help balance supply and demand more effectively. So, to summarize, while trade regulations in Senegal serve an important role in protecting the economy, there are significant areas where improvement can be made. Simplifying custom procedures, implementing digital tools, and improving communication can all contribute to a smoother and more efficient trade environment. So this will ultimately benefit both businesses and consumer, leading to a more competitive market and better access to goods. So that's all for me, and thank you.
As we have heard from our experts today, Senegal's new trade regulations have created significant challenges for suppliers, freight forwarders, and retailers. While these regulations aim to strengthen the economy, they also bring obstacles that businesses must navigate. So, the key to overcoming these barriers lies in better policy implementation, digital trade solutions, and improved coordination among logistic stakeholders. That's all for today. Special report on Senegal Logistic Challenge. Thank you for tuning in. Stay informed, stay ahead. I'm Fareeq signing off.